Hi, welcome back to Django series. In this video, I am going to explain how to use Django URL template tag. There are two methods so that we can redirect to the specific URL. In the first approach, we can add a link of HTML page, and in the second approach, we can use variable name. So here I'll explain both the method to understand how the URL template tag can be integrated into the coding. So let it be using view function. I write a function index having parameter is a request, and then we can return to a specific page. So return render, first parameter is request, and then we are going to pass the actual HTML page. So my application is, let's say, test1, and inside the application we are being pointing to a specific HTML page, that is index.html. So once I write this view, we can write the URL pattern. In the URL pattern, we have to specify the path. So in the path, we need to write the name of the URL that we need to redirect. So let it be index, and then the function that we need to call. Let's say view.index. Views dot name of the function is index, so that it will redirect to the specific URL. And then we'll go to the template. Under the template, we are going to specify the hyperlink tag. Under the template, we are going to add the hyperlink, a href. We need to specify the name of the particular web page that we want to redirect. So here I am going to write the URL tag. Let it be index, and name of the page is index. Then I close the tag. So this process will redirect to a specific index page using this URL template tag. This is one of the approach. We can add a variable as well. So when we write the view function, at that time we can add a parameter, that is, let's say, dictionary, and that dictionary parameter consists of, let's say, I want to call the index. So I just write the variable in, and the web page that I want to redirect, let it be index. Close that tag. After that, when we write the URL pattern, it will keep as it is. No need to modify anything in the URL tag. Only thing is that we need to modify in the template. So instead of writing the full name of index, we need to pass the variable name. So I just copied this content, and instead of index, what we need to write here is name of the variable. So in this way, we can call a specific URL template tag using the name of the HTML page or by using the variable name. So we'll discuss this solution through the coding. So here I explain how to use Django URL template. Now let us start the discussion. So first of all, we need to create a virtual environment. So to create a virtual environment, go to the terminal, type a command py -m flag virtual environment, name of the virtual environment. So here I'll use the same name, virtual environment. Once the virtual environment is created, then it creates some set of folders which consist of some packages are inbuilt inside it. Now we need to activate that virtual environment. To activate the virtual environment, we need to go to the specific folder. Let's say folder is virtual environment. Under that, script folder, and then we can activate the virtual environment. Now you can see virtual environment is activated. Now you can install a Django specific version. So to install the Django version, we need to type a command in a terminal, pip install Django. It will install the updated version of a Django, so that we can use that Django version to create a project. Now once the Django is installed properly, then we can create a project. So to create a project, we need to type a command in a terminal, Django -admin start project, name of the project. So we can write any specific name of the project. So here I'll write, let's say, project 15. It will create an empty project. So you can open a project folder, you can find project 15 is get created. Under the project 15, there are certain set of files are inbuilt created when a project is created. Under that project, we have to create a different applications. Either we can create a single application or multiple application. Now I'll go inside the project, and then I'm going to create the multiple application or a single application. So to create an application, you need to type a command python manage .py start app, name of the application. So I just write the name of the application, let's say test 15. So that application will create under the project folder, having certain set of inbuilt files are there. You can see test 15 application is get created. Once this application is created, we need to inject that application into setting.py file so that the Django can recognize the app is installed. So go to the project folder, open the settings.py file. In a setting.py file, we need to go to the install app. You can find there are many inbuilt applications are there. We need to add this customized application after the inbuilt application. So I'm going to add this test 15 under the install app. Once we add this line, it means that now this test 15 is inject, or we can say installed into the Django project. Next task is to create a template. So to create a template, go to the project, create a folder template. Under the template, we can create an application. So name of application is test 15. So under the template, I am going to create test 15 folder. So this test 15 folder consists of all the HTML pages that I want to use to redirect on the URL. So under that test 15, I am going to create index.html. So now template is get created, which consists of index.html. So I'll add some sample code here. HTML body tag. Inside the body tag, I'll just write a title that is h1. This is index page. So this sample code is created for index.html. Once the template is created, we need to do the setting of template in project setting.py. So again, we need to open the setting.py file, go to the template. So under the template, we can add a directory. So the directory that we have created under the project template, that we need to set over here. To set the directory under the template, we need to write os.path.join, and already we have base directory. Under that, we are using templates. You can find there is an error under the OS. So we need to import this package first. So I'll go to the starting point of the file and I'm going to import the OS. So you can add the import OS package so that that error will get resolved. Again, I'll go to the template and you can find OS path join base directory, and under that we are pointing to the template folder so that we can easily access the template folder to the application. Now moving ahead, we need to use some static file under the project. Now we need to create a static folder under the project. So again, go to the project, create a folder static, which consists of all the static files. So under the static folder, I am going to create different folders. Then I'll create the folder image, which hold all the images of my project. And also I am going to create JS, so it will hold JavaScript file under that folder. So the static folder is also created similar like a template folder. So now I'm going to do the setting of this static folder. Now do the setting of static under the project setting.py. So again, go to the project folder, open the settings.py, scroll down the file, and you can find the static URL. Under the static URL, we need to set the static directory. So here I'm going to use static _dir os.path.join, the similar thing that we did in the template. We have to update after the base directory. So base dir and the folder that we have created under the project, that is static. Then we need to set the static file, files _dir, and we have to set the list of static directory. So static dir we can set here. So in this way, we can set the static folder under the settings.py. Now we'll write the business logic under the application. Now go to the application folder test 15. Inside the folder, open the views.py file. And now here we need to write a business logic. So here I write a function f index, parameter to the function is request, and that function is going to render a specific HTML page. The first parameter is request, then we have to use the specific HTML page. So under the test 15, now here we will use a specific HTML page. Under the application test 15, we have the index.html. So in this way, we can write the function under the views.py. Now we need to set the URL under the project and application. So go to the project folder, open the urls.py, and here we need to modify a certain thing. So first of all, I'm going to add the include function. Already I discussed this function in my previous videos. If you're not aware of include function, then watch my previous videos. Under the URL pattern, we need to set a specific application. So here I'm going to add one path under the URL pattern, and I'm going to set this my test 15 application. And now I'm write the include function. So under the include function, so here we have to specify the application test 15 dot URLs. So this URL has been redirect to the application. Now under the application, we have to create url.py. So go to the application folder test 15, create one new file. Name of the file is urls.py. And under the file, first we'll copy the content of main project URL and paste into the application URL. Now we have to modify this file. So what I'll do first, I'll remove this commented code. We don't want to include any application under this URL. So here I am going to remove the include function as well. And I don't want this path now. I'm under the application. So under the application, we have multiple view functions. So now I will import views from application. From test 15 application, I'm going to import the views. Now I'll add into the URL patterns. Let's say path. We need to add the index function. So index function I'm going to use. I'll call the views dot index, so that that function can be added into the URL pattern. Now everything has been set. Now I'll run the project using the command python manage.py run server. Once the project executes, we'll get the URL. Copy that URL and paste into the browser. We are under the test 15 application. So go into the test 15 application. Under the test 15 application, we have the index. So this is my index page. So I'll add a few tabs on this page so that we can redirect to the another page. So I'll back to the coding and make the modification into the index.html. So index.html consists of few links. Let's say I'll add a link href, and add, let's say, home page. Link is there for home. Similar way, I'm going to add another link href, and here I'm going to add the contact. So now I'll have to create these two pages, home and contact. So I'll go to the template folder, and under the template folder, we have test 15 application. Under the test 15 application, I'm going to create these two new pages, that is home.html. And one more page here I'm going to create as the HTML, that is contact HTML, so that we can redirect to the specific page. So I'll write a certain code under both pages. I'll copy the code of index and paste into both the pages. And we'll modify a little bit. So in the home.html, I'm going to just type a message. This is home page. And from that home page, I'm going to redirect to the index and the contact page. The same kind of modification we need to perform on the contact page. So this is my contact us page. And here I'm going to pass the two link, home and index. So instead of contact, here I'm going to write index. So I'll save these pages and I'll again go back to the browser and just refresh the page. We can find two links are there, home and contact. So if I click on the home, it will redirect to the home. If I click on the contact, it will redirect to the contact. So now again, we'll back to the coding. So we need to write the business logic and the URL for these two pages. So go to the views.py and we need to write these two functions. The first function is home page. The first parameter is a request. So to return a specific HTML page, return render request, and we will be pointing to the specific page that is under test 15. We have home.html. Similar way, I'll write another function that is contact us. So I just write contact function, parameter is request, and that page is also written HTML page. So return render, first parameter is request, and we are going to pass the HTML page that is under the test 15 application. We have contact.html. So both the view functions are completed under the application. Now we'll go to the URL and we'll add that two views under this URL. So just copy this URL path and need to modify. So after index here, I'm going to write home and function that under the view is home. Similar way, contact URL we are going to add contact and the name of function is again contact. So URL is updated, views are updated. So we will verify this functionality is working right or not. So we'll go back to the browser and we'll refresh the page. So now we'll click on the home page. So it is redirected to the application. So certain modification is still required into the HTML page. So we'll back to the coding. Now we'll go to the index.html. Under the index.html, we need to add the application name test15. Give the /. The same we have to modify everywhere. So I just copied paste this part. Similar, we have to modify the home.html and under the contact.html. So once the modification is done, need to save that HTML pages. Again, we'll go back to the browser. We'll go first to the index.html. We need to redirect either home or contact. So first I click onto the home. So it will redirect to the home page. If I click onto the contact, it will redirect me to the contact us page. So likewise, we can redirect to the specific page. So in this way, we can redirect from one page to another page using URL template tag. Thanks for watching this video.